Here come the men in black, the Galaxy Defenders. Here come the men in, well, come on, guys. Men in black, here we are. All right, it's August 8th. Healing Shame, Jeffrey B. Jumping in. Let's get going. All right, August 8th, trait 9. We confuse love and pity and tend to love people we can pity and rescue. Big Red Book, page 12. In many aspects of our lives, we are drawn to the familiar, not because it is good for us, but because it is more comfortable than change. The fact is that as much as many of us protest, we are drawn to other dysfunctional people. The reason for this attraction is very likely a deep sense of shame many of us carry from our childhood that we keep as our well-guarded secret. The message of this shame is that we are not good enough because as children, we did not feel valued for who we were. Only by entering into relationships with other sick people will our secret be secure in the chaos of the dysfunctional. We can focus on them and rescue them, which often makes them want us more, at least for a while. As we gain self-respect in ACA, these innate attractions start to disappear because we realize we're not getting our needs met. As we change, and as hard as it can seem at first, we may have to leave some relationships behind if the other people are not willing to change also. In doing so, we learn to reject the notion that this is somehow selfish. That is codependent thinking that is not fair to anyone, least of all ourselves. And here's our affirmation. On this day, with the help of my higher power, I choose healthy people to be part of my life, people who are willing to embrace the new me. And that's copyright 2013 by Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families World Service Organization. Birds of a feather. Birds of a feather flock together. We all know the expression, and it's very true. There's a lot of truth to it. And, the reality here is very simple. I'm still drawn to sick people, and they're probably drawn to me. If I look at my family, for example, what's one of the reasons we kept coming back together? We're all fucking sick as hell, but we kept coming back together because that was the familiar. That's what we knew. We were used to that insanity, to that dysfunction. So we kept coming back together because that was what we knew, and what felt, I guess, comfortable somehow. So, of course, we go out into the world and we're not just with our family, we start getting into relationships. And I have been in my fair share of unhealthy relationships, toxicity abounding and whatnot. Now, the relationship I'm in now, we are working on things and it's great because we actually have recovery at the centerpiece of our relationship. And that's crucial. If you're in a toxic relationship with somebody else out there and you don't have any kind of recovery there in your life, it's not going to work out. But for me, with mine, it's going to work out because we have recovery at the center. We are both working on ourselves. We're healing, we're growing, and we're committed to continue healing and growing together. And so that's a blessing. That is a godsend to have that at the centerpiece. That's a connection. It's a deeply rooted, embedded connection we have. We both come from places that are, dysfunctional from the family of origin and whatnot. However, because of this centerpiece of recovery, we're going to make it and we're going to move forward and do great and heal and grow together and stick it out. And that's awesome. Long-term commitment. And you have to make that long-term commitment to your partner because if you both come from dysfunctional places, you have to recognize and realize some of that stuff's going to come up. You're going to have that come up and you're going to have to make the commitment and say, look, I'm committed to healing with you. I'm committed to therapy, whatever it takes for us to grow together in the right direction. But recognizing that you have to get your needs met too, and both partners have to be able to call that out and have to be able to get what they want met. So don't be afraid to call out what your needs are. It may hurt sometimes and recognize that, Some of you are going to be in relationships where you feel like your needs are not getting met, and so you're going to have to leave that relationship behind. Fortunately for me and my relationship, we're both stating our needs and we're working on changing so that we can provide those needs to each other. And so we're able to stick it out and keep growing and working things out together. And that's awesome. That's wonderful. Very blessed and feel very fortunate to have a partner that is willing to do this and grow with me and be in recovery with me together. And that's great. Some of you don't have that. If you don't have a relationship that you're both coming from dysfunction, but there's not a commitment to work on recovery together, you may have to leave those relationships behind. But it's in the recognition that you have needs that need to be met, and you're growing and you're improving and getting better. And as you do, some relationships aren't going to work out for you guys. So I understand that. Don't be afraid to ask for your needs, see if the partner is willing to change. If not, then things, you might have to have a different talk. But it is true though, like it talks about in AA. I think AA is a great program because it's got so many words of wisdom. And one of the stories in the back of the book is about expectations. And there is this amount of expectations that we can have too high of expectations in certain relationships on certain people, circumstances, situations, whatever. And our serenity level drops out because our expectation level is too high. And there's an inverse relationship. It's indirectly proportional. So if your expectation level is too up, then your serenity level is going to be down. So we got to go into something with a clean slate, hoping for the best, not necessarily hoping for the best, expecting the worst, because that's an old, antiquated way of thinking that my grandmother passed down to my people from generation to generation, probably passed down to her because of all the negativity and dysfunction in their family. So I'm not saying I just necessarily subscribe to that mode of thinking, but there is a matter of lowering expectations to keep serenity level up. I think that's true. And I think it's very important to recall that. So I'm working on daily things in myself, and then of course in the relationship I have with my girlfriend. And we're doing a great job. We're doing excellent, and we're going to see each other in a few days. So look forward to seeing you, babe. And it's going to be awesome. And I'm really excited about that. She is too. She's been in Spain. I was traveling for 3 weeks myself. I'm back in China while she's still in Spain, but she's leaving soon. I can't wait. But that's what happens when you really care and love somebody, care about somebody, and love somebody because you want to see them, you want to be with them. Long distance is hard on anybody, especially when you're dealing with some of the underlying, issues that, follow you through your adult life that you picked up in childhood that weren't the most healthy. That were some dysfunctional behaviors and coping mechanisms. So it's one day at a time, guys. It's good to be here. It's good to be with you. And remember, birds of a feather, what? Yeah, flock together. So look at it, be aware of it, and then decide, hey, is this a relationship that it can be changed? Can we work on it, recovery together? If so, you guys keep going and move forward, asking for your needs to be met along the way. If not, you're going to have a different talk, regroup, reassess, and then decide at that point what's best. Until next time, all the best. See ya.